And just remember, trauma gets passed down. Y'all remember Zuko, right? Well, if you don't, well, there's a guy named Zuko on a show called Avatar: The Last Airbender. He had a dad. His dad was his problem. In fact, his dad was everybody's problem. He was the main villain in the show. Why? Because his dad couldn't deal with his own problems. Mainly being jealous of his older brother, Iroh, who was always everybody's favorite, including their father, Azulon, who loved Iroh. He said, man, I love my son. Ozai said, appreciate you, Dad. Azulon said, boy, not you. I'm talking about the dragon of the west. Boy, not you. He breathed fire through his mouth. What you do? Ozai said, well, Azulon said, you keep silent, just like in your own show. You the main villain, got no lines. How that make sense? Ozai said, man, one day Iroh gonna slip up, and I'm gonna be there. And well, that day came when Iroh tragically lost his son during a war. And through the loss of his son, he realized that many other people lose their sons at war. So he decides to stop his war campaign and go home. And by his war campaign, I actually mean his dad's war campaign, since his dad was the king. So Ozai decides, now's my chance to become the favorite. And here's where things start to get wicked. He walks into his dad's room and he says, Pops, I know you heard what Iroh did. Azulon said, Ozai said, what you said that? I ain't saying nothing, but what you want? He said, I want to be king. Iroh weak, bro. He couldn't even finish the war. Let me be king. This infuriated Azulon. See, what Ozai didn't know is Azulon was perfectly fine with Iroh coming home. He completely understood Iroh's pain and felt sorry for him. In fact, he loved his grandson too. So Azulon was pretty sad. He said, look, Ozai, let me tell you something. You ain't half the man your older brother is. In fact, what I want you to do is I want you to understand your older brother. So go get your son, bring him over here, and him. Ozai said, my son, Zuko? Azulon said, yes. Ozai said, okay. See, just like his father, Ozai learned to choose favorites, and his favorite child was his daughter, Azula. He didn't care much about his son. He said, whoa, I thought you was about to say Azula. All right, let me go get Zuko right now. Hold on. Now, his wife catches wind of the conversation, and she clearly doesn't want to lose her son, so she makes a deal with Ozai. She says, look, what if I help you somebody else? Somebody standing in the way of you becoming the Fire Lord. Ozai said, deal, as long as you do it. She said, deal, as long as you leave our son Zuko alone. He said, who? Oh, whatever, girl, just do it. She said, bet you won't be talking like that when you see the Avatar. He said, what? She said, not that. So Zuko's mom slash Ozai's wife is the current Fire Lord. Not in a one-on-one scrap though, with poison. And that makes Ozai the Fire Lord. Iroh, having just lost his son, hears that his dad got. So he is distraught. But even so, everyone is still waiting for him to become the Fire Lord. Ozai says, no, my dad's final wish was for me, Ozai, to become the Fire Lord. Everybody said, we just gonna wait and see what Iroh says. Iroh says he can have it, I don't care. Then Ozai becomes a Fire Lord and ruins the lives of millions. Until he meets a little bald kid and gets his ass whooped. But all in all, just remember to work on those traumas or you might unknowingly pass them down. Whether that be through therapy or having decent people around you in your life. Which is what broke the cycle of trauma in Zuko's life. Anyway, you got this.